I need to get back to the gym, guys. What do you guys think? Anyways, we're coming up through here. Malco KTM Duke 690. Having some fun.
What's up?
Oh, got a little panicked. Decided to go wide. Found escape route. And our buddy decided to follow us and crash. Let's go ahead and remain calm. Ensure our own safety. There you go. Lane filter between these vehicles. Found a spot to park it so he's not in the way of the road. That's very good. Let's see. He's walking. He's doing fine. Write in the comments what he's saying. There you go. Put it in gear so that it won't slide on him when they lift it up, because it would slide down the hill, roll down the hill, I mean. All right, let's take a quick look at this, kind of how it happened. You saw beforehand they're kind of having fun, going pretty fast. Then we're getting up to here. It's a blind corner where it should be an orange stage, prepped and ready. We don't know what's around this corner. He's pretty close to the curb, pretty close to the line, pretty fun. That's fine. He has some skills. So we're getting up to here, and all of a sudden it kind of like it's not decreasing, but it's not as it's more of an acute angle. It's more of an acute turn at this point. Okay, it's not obtuse. But anyways, we're coming up to here. Maybe got panicked by some road surface hazards. Maybe saw the car. Don't know why he panicked. Okay, he's already rolling off the throttle. We're doing some engine braking. Why don't you continue through the turn? You know what I mean? So for somebody with a higher skill level, like we're starting to see these people, higher skill level, investment into their gear, investment into their relationship with their motorcycle and their body, to all of a sudden go wide like this. Okay, it doesn't make sense. And that abnormal thing in a normal situation really just comes down to we panicked. It was a panic, and it's fine. Panicked. The moment he panics, like, okay, now I have to do something. I panicked. I'm now here. Now he goes into red stage. So you can go from like orange panic to brown, and then okay, I have to do something. Your body can snap out of it, and this is why we train so that that doesn't happen. The panic part, but we can actually get back into the brain part. And that's what happens here. Slowed it down, already recognized. He's finding the escape path, assuming the car is going to continue going. Found the escape path. Everybody's doing fine. But then our buddy right here, it's just funny how it came out of nowhere, and he just falls down. So right shoulder injuries possibly, but he's got full gear, guys. Got full gear. Overall, kind of a weird situation, huh? Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, Bombeer. Okay, red lights coming up, poor visibility. Why is there a white? Oh, yep. Side of the vehicle in the middle of the road. Just kind of indicates, just really indicates like how difficult it is to see a vehicle like this without having illumination. So right now, yeah, we have headlights in the lane right here. That's perfectly fine. See a lot of brake lights up there, not very good. So it's going to indicate, hey, something, my gut. I don't really like it. Let's go ahead and get into orange stage, kind of prepped and ready. Once again, if you don't know what orange stage and everything is, we have the white, yellow, orange, red, and brown stages here at the MTC Rider Academy. It's going to kind of put you in the mode of understanding what's going on. So all of a sudden, you see the headlights, they're a little bit different. Let's go ahead and go back just a little bit. So right here, the headlights are pretty much in this position. Okay, I'm not going to paint. I'm not going to draw the rest of that. All right, so they're looking this way. You can kind of tell they're looking this way. I want you to kind of burn that image into your mind, not the one I was drawing, but that one right there, the headlights. Now, when we get up to here, look at the headlights. See, they're in their lane. They're not moving. They're at this certain angle that's pointed forward, but not in our face, right? So these ones over here, you can kind of see them. They're pointed a little bit awkward. They're not in the lane. And now they're aimed at me. And now they're completely aiming that way. So that's going to indicate something's different. So we should slow it down. We still don't know what it is, right? I can't assume that you know what it is. I mean, we can kind of see it a little bit on the GoPro, but maybe in the vision, his face shield is not so good. Maybe got some bugs, whatever it is. It's just the pattern is looking weird. So I'm going to slow it down. Now I can see this person being an idiot. Now that I was slowing it down, headlights, brights, everything. Okay, let's go ahead and honk the horn if I can slow down enough, which he's doing. Perfectly fine, handled it. But that's just going to indicate how important it is to really pay attention to the road and slow it down, especially when it comes to nighttime and just random things that happen at night. Very good. All right, here we go. Side of the vehicle is a left turner. Left turner. Good swerve. Oh, and I love his jacket. I got a climb jacket too. I think that's the Baja. I have the Marrakesh. Either way, oh my gosh, the fabric. If you have a climb jacket, you know. All right, here we go. So we're coming up to here. We have a left turner, okay, pretty obvious right here. So that's going to be a possible path of travel violation, but it's so far away. So when we talk about planning our ride, we're locating hazardous situations. Is this a relevant threat? Not really. So we can just continue going back to positioning, locating. Okay, we don't have to navigate because it's not an active threat. But what I like to do is like, hey, that somebody else could be doing that too. That's an area where something can happen. So I'm in this area. I'm in, in this downtown area. At least that's what it looks like. But I'm in town. There's traffic. So I'm going to be in orange stage because you never know if somebody's going to be running out. Anybody's going to be turning left in front of me. If it's a 35-mile-an-hour zone, guess what? We're going 36. I love it. We're doing great. We're not speeding. We're doing everything we possibly can. Okay, so now that the Jeep is out of the way, because it was blocking our line of sight for the other vehicle right there, okay, so that if he's turning, there's a possibility of that vehicle turning. So let's go ahead and prepare ourselves. Let's go ahead and position for safety, kind of put ourselves over here, because if we had to, we can do a swerve and go. And guess what? That's kind of what he did. He was already in a great position. So as soon as we see that person cross that turn lane lane, we already started moving. You saw that? We started moving. So what we're doing, let's say we're right here, obviously down here, he just switched to this lane. So he's just switched to right here. You don't have to switch all the way to near this car to avoid things. So when it comes to changing lanes, I love being in this part. If I'm in this part, just switching over to this part. If I'm over here, I'll do a really nice quick adjustment to this part, do a nice little head check, and then I'm going to switch to this part if I'm ever switching lanes. So that's what I do. And I really like to see that this is in action. It was a great swerve. This is definitely a smart rider. Absolutely loved what they did. Once this thing goes away, we're going to continue on, all right? But yeah, absolutely loved seeing that. Great quick swerve. Did a nice little look. Climb gear. Investment into his skills. Investment into his gear. Very good. Ninja 650. Watch. Or when you crash your roommate's bike. Ninja 650. Gooch. All right. Oh, I think we hit the paint. The road looks wet. The paint's probably wet. We're going to take a quick look. Ooh, he hurt his hand a little bit. Let's go and take a look at his hand. So that could have been your flesh. I'd rather rip up the glove than rip up the flesh. If it took like half a second or a second to rip that off and then we're still fine underneath the gloves, that's great. If it was, just our hands, that would have been our skin. So we're going to come up to here. Looks wet. We got over the line right there. And we're still in a sharp turn on the line. Our rear tire looks like it lost traction. So pay attention when we're out riding. Stay on this area right here. Don't go on paint, but stay on an area where typically car tires like to go. So let's say a car tire goes here and it goes here. So I like to be on the car tire versus trying to find some random spot, especially on a turn, because that they've laid down some rubber. That's where their tires have been. That's probably where it's a little bit warmer on the street. It's just overall, they're already displacing the water itself. I'd be more concerned. I'd be focused on that versus being on, close to the paint or in some random spot. You're also avoiding stuff like this, right where our tires are supposed to be. But overall, terrible situation, and this is why we wear full gear as a smart rider. Just in case something happens, we acquire and use that personal protective equipment to mitigate injuries and make sure. Oh, I was going to say I heard a motorcycle. Our buddy can rescue us. Okay, we have the rescue packs and everything here. Absolutely use it if you need it. Hopefully you never have to. All right, Kawasaki Vulcan 900, Fresno. Okay, it looks like we're going on an on-ramp. There's lots of brake lights. Pay attention. He's checking his mirrors. Okay, the left lane is slow. The on-ramp is slow. There's an indicator. We're going to switch. We can. He didn't go through the gore area. Perfect. It's legal. So right here. Switching lanes because the vehicle in front of us is going slow. We switch lanes again. Okay, so this typically happens. So think about it. We're coming up to here. The vehicles in front of us are slowing. This is an open lane. And right here, we're going through the patterns. So it's an open lane over there. Our lane is slow. We're going to switch lanes. That's exactly what happens to us, and it's going to happen exactly right here. So we switch lanes. We're doing head checks. He's doing everything possible. This is a good, smart rider, by the way. I'm not picking him apart. He's doing head checks. He's using indicators. He's switching lanes. He has a great space cushion. Look at this lane right here, or this position. Great line of sight. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Nighttime is a freaky situation. So right here we have a car indicating that they're going to switch into our lane. This is the perfect pattern of an open lane right in front of us. Somebody's going to take it, just like we did the same thing just a half a second ago. So once we recognize this car coming out, okay, we're going to do another head check. We're going to roll off the throttle, do another head check. Because if they're going slow, we need to roll off the throttle to maintain some kind of space cushion. Roll off the throttle, look over to your left, look at your mirror, head check, nobody's there. Did it right there, very quick. And just moved over. You see how he's just moving over in this spot right here? Very good. So that truck was slowing down, or that truck was going too slow for the car. Car moved over. We moved over. We just had to move over a whole bunch, but we did the same thing. So now we're going to accelerate, get into this lane, handle it. Very good. It was very good. All right, lots of rain, water. Whoa, Mustangs. This isn't a bike meetup. It's not a car meetup. Don't be fishtailing it and hitting anybody. So this guy did a great job on the motorcycle. I want to point out what he did. So right now we're going 84, 80. Let's say that's the interstate speed. Let's say we're just doing interstate speeds, flow of traffic, right? Rain, water, it's going to reduce your traction, so be very careful when it comes to that. So we have a Mustang here starting to lose traction. So we're already we're already lowering our speed. So the moment we saw something uncommon, what we want to do is roll off our throttle, maybe even apply some brake pressure, because we want to create a space cushion between Mustang boy and us. Because if they do crash, we want to have some space to make adjustments when it comes to, we have to swerve, we have to brake, we have to do anything, because we're in a wet environment. Swerving might be difficult, braking might be difficult, and this guy's already losing traction just accelerating. So increase that space cushion, roll up the throttle, because right, interstate speeds, engine braking is going to work really well. This guy hopefully is going to continue moving forward and not crash. But right here, I want to make sure that I have a good space cushion. So it's not just rolling off the throttle. You might want to switch lanes too while rolling off the throttle. Maybe applying just a little bit of brake pressure, because if this guy crashes, I want to dodge him. Did exactly what I was saying. So we dropped it from 80 to 40, dropped half our speed, rolling off the throttle, maybe downshifting, not even applying the brakes. So very good on this rider for recognizing this could have been a hazardous situation. Instead of just accelerating through, trying to pass him, could have fishtailed into our lane just a little bit, and then we hit him. Right here, we did fine. We did absolutely fine. If something did happen and this person did cross into our lane, you're going to have to swerve. You're going to have to swerve. And that's fine. So when it comes to planning a ride, and we saw this, we located a hazardous situation, we assessed that it could be a relevant threat. So we're going to go ahead and just preemptively put ourselves in a new position on a different lane. That's what I would have done, but he did great here. Honestly, all you can really do, unless you just really keep acting instead of watching the Mustang. Very good.